Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here tonight because we have a very special guest for you this evening. Here on the screen with me is Allie, who is one of our Fertile Method clients, who has been just a phenomenal inspiration to everyone. She came into the Fertile Method so ready to learn and to make changes and embraced it wholeheartedly, and has had a great deal of success, which we will get into here in a moment. So we're having her on tonight because I think that she is a wonderful example of what you can do to impact your fertility naturally through the Fertile Method. And she honestly is just such a positive ray of sunshine and an inspiration to everybody. So please welcome Allie. We're so happy to have you here with us. And thank you so much for taking time to come on to our group this evening.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
Yay. Awesome. So what I would like to do, because we probably have a lot of women here who don't know you, don't know your story, who would love to hear it and could probably really relate to everything you've been through. So I guess first, would you mind giving everyone a little bit of background about yourself and your fertility journey prior to meeting us?
I'm Allie. I'm from the Midwest, wonderful Minnesota.
Yay, Midwest.
My husband is a teacher and I stay at home with my kids. Our first pregnancy we had was a miscarriage, and that was 10 years ago on my birthday this year. So that was our first, but after that, everything worked like clockwork. We had 4 kids, either 2 years or 2 years and 3 months apart. And everything was going well. Our 4th, we did have to try. The other ones we never had to try for. We just got pregnant. So it took 3 months to get pregnant. But then everything went smoothly. All my pregnancies went smoothly. And then last year, so June 2020 or May 2020, I got pregnant again. We were really excited. And then I miscarried. I am elderly or advanced age, as they like to say.
What is it they call it? Advanced maternal age. I always loved that label when I walked into the doctor's office. Thank you. And then I had 4 healthy pregnancies. So they just kind of brushed that miscarriage off, saying it happens 1 in 5, whatever. You'll be fine. You'll get pregnant. No problem. Waited a couple months to try again and then tried it in October. And then last year, last November, right before Thanksgiving, I had another D&C. So we lost that baby as well. And then again in May and June, we lost a 3rd. So none of them advanced past implantation, basically. Implanted, had a gestational sac. 2 of them had yolk sacs, but there was never an actual baby in there. So, and then 2, shouldn't say that. The first one I passed naturally back before my kids. And then the first one last summer, I started passing naturally and ended up in the hospital with hemorrhaging. Mm-hmm. So had to have a D&C. So I had 3 D&Cs in a year before coming to the Fertile Method. So, and then my doctors too, my age, and then having 4 kids, they just blamed everything on my age, in all honesty. So your eggs. If you don't mind sharing, how old are you?
I just turned 39, so I was 37 and 38 for the miscarriages.
And we hear that all of the time. We hear so many women come to us who, the doctors are just saying, well, with your age, it's expected that, you're going to have trouble carrying. And,
But all that to say, I clearly don't have problems getting pregnant.
Right. I know. I'm sure there's lots of women watching who are like, please, like, give me a little bit of that. Like, spread some of that around, right? Yes, blow it to them. Right.
So, like, and so something was working right. Because they say at age, statistics say, or medical statistics say that it takes about a year to get pregnant when you reach 35 or whatever. So, I was still getting
really
pregnant.
Not in your case.
Yeah, no.
Right. No. You look at each other and it's like, oh.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's almost in some ways just as frustrating or even more frustrating when it's so easy to get pregnant and yet every single pregnancy, ends in heartache. Yeah. And it's like, well, something's working. So what's not adding up here? Yeah. So you came to us, you started the Fertile Method at the end of July this past summer, right? Is that correct?
I think, yep, I did all my stuff at the end of July. I officially started, I think, the first Monday in August.
First Monday in August. Okay. I knew like it was end of July, like summer. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, pretty short amount of time. Yeah. From then till now. So what was your biggest fertility challenge? Obviously the miscarriages, but what was the biggest fertility challenge prior to coming to us? Like as far as like frustration, things you were trying, things you were doing, or like emotionally, what was the hardest part for you?
Well, the losing obviously was hard. Not expecting to lose. I think going from 4 healthy conceptions and pregnancies to all of a sudden having trouble. Then all of it during COVID. So it's like, did I have COVID? Is COVID causing my miscarriages? And then having friends miscarry, and then you're wondering, well, they had COVID too. So is that, you get all that in the back of your head too. Right. But I think my biggest part too was my periods. My periods were horrible. I would ovulate. Well, my first one, miscarriage in 2020, I took an ovulation test kit. I had some left over from trying with our 4th, and they were expired, so I didn't expect much, but I ended up ovulating late. I should have known something was wrong right there. Because I typically ovulated around between day 12 and 14. And I would, that month I ovulated. Like
right on schedule.
Yep. And then that was day 18 that time. And my period the month before that came late. So I assume that I ovulated late as well. So that was that miscarriage. After that, it was right back on schedule with my period. But my periods were so heavy. I would spot 3 to 4 days before my period actually started. My period, I would be in so much pain I couldn't go anywhere the first day. And I'd have super heavy for 3 days, and then I'd spot for another 4 days, 3 to 4 days. So a lot of spotting. I'd start bloating the day I ovulated until my period. I would be super bloated, tender breasts, everything was just horrible. And then after last November's miscarriage, even ovulation started to become painful. I remember walking, my kids were on distance learning, and I was walking with the 2 youngest, and I had to call my son to come and find us in the neighborhood and push the stroller back.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't even push the stroller. So, and then from then on, I had some pain with ovulation. So even with the Fertile Method, I was still experiencing a little bit of pain, but not like that.
Yeah.
It was bad. So.
Yeah. So you really things just went south after, all of the miscarriages and the hormones and all of the stuff that happens, right? When you're pregnant, you miscarry and your body tries to readjust. What did you try before, coming to us and stuff? What did you try to overcome some of this? Did you try anything?
The main thing I tried was essential oils and exercise. Come to find out, the exercise was probably stressing my body out more than helping.
I know, everybody's always, thrown off by that one.
In that instance, it was probably doing that. But I tried essential oils topically, some of them internally, which I know you're not supposed to do. I know now.
You're such a good pupil. Listen to this. You took it all in. I love it.
But yeah, like topically, like following a chart on what oils to use during your cycle, and to help balance your hormones. But it wasn't working. Clearly, it wasn't working at all, other than the fact that I was getting my period every 29 days. Like that was the only thing that was balanced. I'm guessing ovulation was balanced too, but I wasn't tracking that. And so that was the main thing. Exercise. I want to say I tried to fix my diet up, but I was depressed. I was eating like crap. So
yeah, it's hard.
Yep. I didn't want to make anything to eat. I didn't want to take that time. So I ate a lot of Subway, drank a lot of Diet Coke. Wasn't sleeping well, obviously, for those reasons. But yeah, and then for my like mental and emotional, like connecting at church, I joined a Bible study last January, and that really helped get through a lot of the emotional side and the mental side of things. So
yeah, having like support or even just an outlet, just something to take your mind off it and connect with other humans can make such a big difference. So that's great. We talked to a lot of women that don't have that, or especially during COVID. And when you're struggling with infertility and miscarriage, it's just, it's, so hard to go through alone. So that's wonderful. So was there a moment that made you decide you needed to do something different? Like you had the 3 miscarriages, you guys, it was clearly very, very important to you to have another child. Like, take us through what got you from there to we got to do something different.
Well, I kind of joined into the Fertile Method right after pretty close to my DNC in July.
I remember that.
And he was not mentally ready to talk about it much, about moving forward. But I was looking at a lot of things, hoping that maybe like some, just a lot of stuff. But everything that I kept reading was all infertility, can't get pregnant. And I was like, well, I clearly don't have that issue. And then I did last May, before we got pregnant in May, look at metabolic renewal, which I think that's more geared to when you're done having kids, after reading everything. And my sister had been doing it, but I was like, you know what, to balance my hormones. But it just it didn't feel right for the post miscarriage and moving forward. And I told my husband, I was like, I can't, even if we don't have kids, again, I can't go every month feeling like crap for 14 to 15 days of it. It's like, I'm a horrible mom that way. I'm moody. I'm in pain. I'm tired. And so that was kind of the point that I got to, where I was like, I just can't function as a mother this way or a wife this way anymore.